So, which of the shows did you see this week?
I watched both Raw and SmackDown. I was able to catch SmackDown last night on Hulu. It was the only episode on Hulu.
So, I mean, we're just going to start right into it. I like your mug. I used to have that exact mug. The cleaning lady at our office broke the handle on it.
Fucking asshole.
Yeah. She, it was an accident. I don't blame her.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. They never do it on purpose, not unless you're an asshole.
No.
So.
No, I'm not an asshole to her. I'm the one who fucking pays her. Yeah.
Yeah, be kind to cleaning staff because they know your shit.
Yeah.
And I work alongside a lot of cleaning staff when I work nights. And, you know, good people.
Oh, yeah.
Good
always.
people.
Yeah. Shout out to the cleaning staff. Let's get right into what you're talking about with SmackDown and Hulu and all this. So with the move to USA, they just announced that episodes will be available 30 days after airing on Peacock.
Yes, which is the norm actually already.
It is.
But there's apparently Fubo TV, I guess, that USA Network is like streams on.
Mm-hmm.
There's a way to watch it. There's a way to watch it. It's just some stupid hoops that you have to jump through now.
Yeah, I think Hulu Live will still let you be able to record it, right?
That I don't know. I'll have to try that because I do have Hulu Live.
Yeah, I think that's what you can do for like being able to watch the replays immediately after.
That's probably what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, I don't know if that's gonna like be the cut down version still, because they've been doing that with I think Raw.
Yeah, so there is a difference actually because I've watched Raw live.
Yeah,
on Hulu, and when you go back to watch it again, there are blatant cuts.
Yeah, I mean, I think they've been cutting out on the replays every instance of the Pure Fusion Collective.
Yeah.
And like that's just a burial right there. Because I mean, number one, I'm sorry, the name sucks. I'm not gonna beat around the bush. The name sucks, but they should at least be doing something with those ladies.
Sorry, my dog
Bella's getting into trouble.
She's laying underneath my legs.
Yeah,
being a good puppy.
Yeah, but as far as SmackDown goes, we got like the first time that like a season premiere of SmackDown actually meant something. We got new branding, new network, new stuff happening there. I'm not sold on the new logo. Thank you.
Yeah,
when it's spelled out on the banners in the arena, it looks fine. But when they have like the condensed, just like where it says Smack Sound, it doesn't work for me.
Doesn't work for me either, actually. It does look like a double S, and it's really off-putting, actually, because it like your brain's trying to make it into the D shape, but it's an S.
No, like it's not quite right. I hope they make a quick pivot and just like if they just do like SmackDown side by side, it's still it's readable then to me. Like it looks like how it's supposed to, at least like SmackDown. It looks like how the title is supposed to read, not just Smack Own.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like the color design, I'm fine with the color design.
Yeah,
that part's okay. But it's not a good vector.
No, I like the use of blue in the WWE logo on it.
Yeah,
I like that.
Me
touch.
too.
Yeah. But dude, like,
it's bad.
It's bad. A little bit off. Yeah, it's a little bit off. I mean, there's some other changes happening with WWE that I'm kind of excited about. Number one, apparently the rumor is Def Rebel is not getting renewed on their contract for entrance music, and they're going to lean more towards like established artists to do entrance music again.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, huge change for me. I love that idea.
They've been changing some people's music here and there, and it's kind of annoying me because I don't know who's running out sometimes.
I mean,
so
we saw that
they
in
can
Royal
do
Rumble. Like people were like looking at the Tron to see who was coming out because they couldn't recognize him by their music.
LA Knight on Friday on SmackDown on Smack Sown. His entrance music is different. I didn't recognize it at first. I was in the middle of finishing up cooking, and it was like, what the hell is this?
Yeah, they changed that when he won the U.S. title. Like, I think it was like the week after is when they changed it for him. But like the biggest one was it A-Town Down versus Kevin Owens and a mystery partner, and they brought out that dude Ricky, and like the music kicked in, and like everybody was like, okay, who is it? Like expecting it to actually be somebody, and it's just some dude.
Some dude, brother?
Yeah, some
Ricky.
Ricky, yes, I know. Ricky.
Fucking Ricky, brother. I am Team Ricky over here.
He got buried by commentary talking about how he needs to shave his back.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm still Team Ricky though, man. That dude came out and he sold.
He did, and he did great job taking that stunner.
Yeah, no, I was proud, man. Because he's a jobber, sure. The whole thing was just to kind of introduce him. I think it was well done overall, and it was like a nice comedic way to bring him in.
Yeah, that was a nice swerve to bring in Randy Orton.
I think it did the intended effect. Yeah, honestly.
No, that worked. But in my mind, I was like, wait, is this somebody I should actually know when he was coming out just because I didn't recognize his music?
That's the problem right now. I constantly have to look to be able to know who I'm actually seeing or like who the wrestlers are lately, unless it's Cody or Roman.
Cody, Roman, Randy, Sami Zayn is another one you can recognize from his music, but like someone who is desperate need of like some new entrance is Solo. Yeah,
I don't like his.
Like, it doesn't suit, like, his faux tribal chief persona that he's got going right now. It worked when he was just, like, an enforcer for the bloodline. But now, like, he needs something with some more gravitas.
Yes, perfect word. You need, like, something on, like, Jay-Z, Hova levels, basically. Like, you need some Mac Daddy shit.
Or you need something that's got like a hard edge to it, like some NWA.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
You know what? Do a mashup. Linkin Park and Jay-Z did it back in the day and made it popular for a bit. Just do it again.
Yeah, maybe not with Linkin Park anymore, though.
Not with Linkin Park anymore, though. No.
But
that's weird.
That leads us right into the opening match of Steel Cage, Solo, and Cody. I question the booking on this just because, we're coming off of the Lights Out Steel Cage match with All Out. Immediately following, like, it's going to be a different vibe. It's WWE. They're not the same audience that they're, it's not the same demo.
Right.
So you're going to invite those comparisons right off the bat from, marks like us that watch everything. And I don't know if this is the right time for it, particularly because also they got Hell in a Cell with CM Punk and Drew coming up at Bad Blood.
I think this was an error, potentially something that was booked in the past as this, and they just left it in place.
Yeah.
There was no lead up, in my opinion, that would make me believe they needed a cage match, like at all.
Like, it makes sense in like the booking of, Cody versus the Bloodline, because the whole setup for Steel Cage is, okay, there's going to be no outside interference with the Steel Cage. Like, that's the purpose. That makes sense. That's fine. This is
not what happened.
Yeah, this is just the wrong time to do it. And immediately after the match, the Bloodline comes out and just scales right up that cage. Now, was it a good setup to bring Roman in? Of course.
Yes.
Yeah.
I do have to say, they could have done something a lot more scaled back, and I think it would have been better. Like a less is more kind of deal. Because you could still have Roman come out, you could still have the rest of the Bloodline come out, you could still have Fatu, climb up to the top rope and not have him get stuck up on top of the steel cage for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Because then he was too scared to climb down. Did you see that? Like, he was afraid. He was like, whoa, I don't want to do this.
His love of Solo only takes him so far.
Only so far.
Dude, I love those compilations that are circulating every time he's on TV. It's just, I love you, Solo. I love my tribal chief. And he's just shouting.
He always has to do this weird fucking face right behind Solo, too.
Yeah.
And just like, it takes the piss completely out of the situation.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta say, if he's not doing it for comedic effect, the effect is comedy, because I laugh every fucking time he makes a face trying to act all serious.
I love Jacob Fatu. He's so great. He's just great.
So good. But this match,
Like,
it
was fine as a steel cage match goes, like, in my opinion. Like, it was fine as far as like the stipulation for having a steel cage, and like the actual match itself was okay. It was
it was a 3.
Yeah,
it was a 3. I'm glad it was not the main event. Personally, yes. If this was the main event, I would have been mad. I think I would have been not mad, but annoyed.
Yeah.
It was better to have this in the beginning so I could forget about it, and I hate that.
Yeah. I mean, there were some good moments in there. I loved the Cody cutter off of the cage.
Yeah,
that was great.
That was awesome.
I'm surprised Cody went with the crossbody off the top of the cage too, because he did the moonsault last time he was in the steel cage, and that was far more dynamic.
I think you're highlighting the issue here.
Yeah,
Cody is dynamic when it comes to using the environment around him.
Yeah,
to implement a lot of his maneuvers so they look a lot more over the top and amazing. This was a mismatch in my opinion. Solo is incapable of this.
My problem with Solo right now is he's good at selling after the fact. Like, he is not good at making things look like they hit him. Like, I'm sure you saw, because the camera did not cut at the right moment when he was taking those headers on the steel cage, and there was inches of air in between his head and the top of that cage.
There was also a couple punches that Cody did in the beginning that clearly didn't touch him either. Yeah. It's an issue. Honestly, it's a mismatch, because like, imagine if Roman had been the matchup, we would be talking about this match differently.
Yeah.
Even if I still believed that a steel cage wasn't warranted, we still would be talking about this match and be like, this was amazing.
Yeah. Like, he's just not working snug, and that's my problem with him right now. Like, I think he's got the right attitude. Like, his part of his presentation is working well. It's just like the in-ring stuff is lacking a little bit. And I'm not gonna bash on the dude. He's still very young in his career.
Oh yeah.
Like, not just like as a total age, but as like a age as a wrestler. Like, he has not had that much in-ring time. And this is fine. Like, he's got to get the reps in, sure, but I don't buy him at this level yet.
Same, because and I'm glad you bring this up, because last night, I don't remember which one of them brought it up, but it was brought up about how Solo's record speaks for itself when they were trying to hype him up in the match, in the middle of the match. Solo has like
one title,
like 12 wins, 138 losses or something like that, and one title. Yeah, like
NXT North American Championship, not even like the main NXT title.
Again, no hate to Solo. I do. He does work. He puts it in. But we can't. Again, we're marks. So like, we sit here and they're like, oh, his record speaks for itself. It's like, well, motherfucker, I know his record and it's not good.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? You just made this look worse.
I know they are not doing an accurate job of highlighting his strengths and hiding his weaknesses.
Yeah. And at first, when it was him kind of taking over as tribal chief, that made sense. They're like, okay, where do we stand with this new tribal chief? How do we talk about him? I get that, but it's been months now.
Yeah, and I loved the introduction of all these new members into the bloodline. You know, fresh blood into the bloodline for Solo to take over. Like, that works. That's great. I love what you're doing with that. I want them to build Solo into either more of a threat or more of an obvious pretender to the tribal chief head of the table status.
Yeah, one of the two, but pick.
Yeah.
Because right now it seems like they're trying to pull him into like main contender status, but they're just failing at it.
I know. And this is one of the sad things is they have been doing Cody's run with the title a little dirty, in my opinion, because they have not really made any credible contenders for a shot, aside from AJ Styles pulling the fake retirement.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. That was the last time I felt like, okay, there is someone who is like an actual contender against him.
Because, like, sorry, nothing to KO, but that was like clearly, let's get one of my friends out of the way real quick so we don't have to do this anymore. Well, and people can stop thinking like he's going to someday backstab me. Let's just get this out of the way now.
And that was really just to have, okay, here's the, undisputed title on a PLE show. That wasn't like, because they knew that their main event was going to be Gunther. And they're like, okay, well, we need something for Cody to do because Cody's a top merch mover and people love him.
They could have had Cody in a different setup where he wasn't actually having to defend the belt. They could have done something else with it where like he's sitting atop of the mountain watching all this. Yeah. Or something. They could have done something fun with it. But I agree. I think they're doing him a little dirty. Mainly with how the matches have been going too. Because I feel like they're trying to set it up that Cody's moves don't end someone. Yeah. You got to do it 20 times before it's going to put a person down.
You got to do 3 crossroads in a row.
And then you got to do like 7 Cody cutters throughout the match.
And how many drop down uppercuts, how many disaster kicks. Just laying into him. He didn't even do a bionic elbow in the steel cage, and that's usually a go-to for him.
Yeah, I was surprised. I was expecting to see that.
Yeah.
But then you square that up against Roman with his Superman punch and his spear. That spear ends matches.
Always.
It ends matches. Like, and he doesn't need to do it 3 or 4 times usually. Sometimes, yeah. Like obviously, there's been a few times where he's had to do it multiple times to keep a person down. But of a lot of opponents, once he did that, you're like, oh, this is over. Yeah. This is over.
You could, see the finish coming and believe it.
Yep. And I it's unfortunate because I think Cody's a great champ. Oh, yeah. I love him in this spot. I think he does a lot of good for the brand of WWE right now. And I think he's uniting a lot of fans, especially in that lead up to taking the belt this time. That we haven't seen in a while.
Yeah, like this is the babyface that Vince always wanted for WWE. Yeah. Like this is exactly what they wanted. This is what they were trying to do with Cena for years. This is what they tried to do with Roman and shove it down the audience's throat for years. And they just weren't able to, make the connections work, make the character feel like, okay, they are deserving of, the adulation of the crowd. They got it with Cody. Like he can do all of the things that you want a champion face to do. He can be the face of the company outside of the ring in the cross promotional stuff. He can sell merch like nobody's business. He can do the work in the ring that you want. He can do a promo and, make you believe him. Yeah. What all they're missing is just, making a credible threat to his reign.
Which is astonishing to me because Cody's one of those where you can put anyone in the ring with him and he's going to make them look good.
Yeah, he's a carny fuck since the day he was born. They were, 3 minutes into the steel cage match and he was already blading?
Yep. Yeah. And I don't think that needed to happen, personally.
Not that early, in my opinion.
Yeah, because like obviously we were gonna compare this somewhat to the Swerve Page match, which there's no comparisons.
No,
none. So they should have kept this more clean, in my opinion. You could have made this a submission match, and then maybe I would have believed Solo being a matchup for Cody more.
And you know what? I'm gonna lay out a personal gripe of mine. This is me being just a fucking old head at this point, but we gotta lose the door on the steel cage as a method of escape. I'm tired of it.
I'm tired of it too.
It's a shortcut. I don't like it.
And also, I honestly think pinning someone in a steel cage match is like the last thing you should do.
Yeah.
Other than escaping through the door, obviously.
Yeah.
If you're gonna pin someone, make it more believable that you don't have the energy to climb back up, and pinning him is like your only option now.
Yeah, like you're both just exhausted. Like you're dragging yourself across the mat because your legs don't work anymore, and you're it's your last chance. Like
you started climbing, you made it up to the top rope. You're realizing I can't freaking do this. So you just turn around and you just do a bionic elbow down and then pin him.
Yeah, something like that. Other things on the show, we had the Andrade versus Melo for the 5th time for a #1 contenders match for the IC title, right?
Yes. Yes. This was the main event, technically.
Technically, as far as matches go, yeah.
I am happy for that, actually. But I still have some gripes. Have some gripes. Not a perfect match. I'm not going to sit here and like belittle on any of the moves and stuff they did. There were some flubs for sure, but they capitalized on those flubs, and that made me really happy. Make it more believable. Like when Carmelo lost his balance and they capitalized it going over the rope.
Yep.
And you could tell that was a flub. And Andrade, boom, immediately, I'm going to throw you over the rope. Like, perfect.
Yeah.
My issue is more with how WWE is trying to put these two over. I want them as a main event match. You need to make it so that the fans want it too in the ring or in the arena. Because I'm sorry, man, this is another one of those where I'm happy to see this match happen, even though it's the 5th time. But the fans in the arena are so quiet until like 3/4 of the way through.
Yeah. I don't know what it is. This is a persistent problem with someone like Andrade. He's got the goods in the ring, in between the ropes. Like he's got that. Outside of there, he doesn't have a connection with the fans. And I don't know what you need to do in order to get there. It's the same problem that they have with DIY, where like from the start of the match, the crowd is not behind them. Like from the entrance to like, I would say almost 90% of the match, it's that last 10% that they are able to win over the crowd. And I don't know what you need to do to these characters in order to get people to be sold on them from the jump.
I think they need more time for promos is one of them.
Yeah.
They're starting. They've been giving them some time now. Not a lot, but some. I think Carmelo's able to capitalize that a little bit better because his English is better. Like that's his natural language. So, but my biggest one personally, lose the fucking skull mask, Andrade. Like, brother, come on, man. No one likes that gimmick. They're not into it. They're dead silent. You could hear a fucking pin drop on Friday night. It was wild to me.
Yeah, there is no impact when he removes that mask.
None. The mask thing in general does not really work for me right now as the gimmicks they're trying to put it off as. They save most of them for the PLEs. Don't even save them for that. But his is the one I could point out of any of them and say this is not going over, because some people do like Cody's like oversized fucking skull head mask. Some people do like Damien's thing that he had on. Shit, some people still love Triple H's like mecha T1000
the
craziness. Yeah,
he had like the whole mantle.
Yeah, but this one does not work. I think he would be better off showing his face.
Yep,
all the time.
He's a good looking dude.
Dude, for real. And the hair.
Yeah,
don't hide that hair behind under that fucking thing. Yeah, I mean, like if you want to give yourself some sort of gimmick and if you ever listen to this fucking episode, Andrade, you can have it for free. You're from Pinche Durango. Be a scorpion.
Yeah.
Be a scorpion, brother. Come on.
I mean, that's a gimme right there.
Seriously. You're from Pinche Durango. Come on, man.
Look, I mean, it is what it is. My problem was this is the 5th time we've seen this. And like, there's been no heat with these after the first one, I would say. Like when they ran it back.
The first one was in France, I think.
Yeah. And I'm just like, I'm over it. Like, there was no build to this feud. Like, it was just stagnant throughout.
Yep. And it's unfortunate too, because both of them are amazing. That the ladder match that they did together for the titles and everything.
Yeah.
Or that was amazing. They were the standout for that match.
Easily.
It's unfortunate because they have the skills. They work really well together. I'm okay with going, this is our 5th round, you know, make it earned. Yeah, like actually make some heat happen with this.
Give us something else. Like, cause this is my problem right now with WWE as far as like their booking goes. The matches are getting somewhere when there's no title like in the scenario. Like all the stuff that's deep and personal is what's working for them right now, and they don't have really any of that happening in any of the title scenes.
They don't, no. Like the only one they potentially have right now is the Cody and Roman. Because that's the only real matchup to Cody, in my opinion, is Roman.
Yeah. I did like a couple of things that they did on the show with Cody and Roman, in particular with Nick Aldis. Like, okay, I've got a contract for a tag match with Solo and Jacob versus Cody and Roman. And I liked Cody being like, Bloodline is not my problem. That's Roman's problem. I like that bit. It just comes down to the question of like, they closed out the show with like, okay, can these two coexist?
I think they can. I honestly, so here's my theory crafting. I kind of got it right with the whole Infinity War end game between these two.
Yeah.
I think the new approach with this one, brother, we're going DBZ here. We're going Goku and Vegeta.
Yeah.
Obviously Roman, even though he's the taller one, is Vegeta. He can't keep his temper under control. He's got to get even, so he can't let something go. And then you have Cody, Mr. Goody Two Shoes, who secretly just really wants to fight. It's not about saving the world. It's just about, ooh, I get to fight a stronger person.
Yeah. Ooh, can I beat this person? That's it.
Oh, the world's on the line? Let's have some fun.
Yeah. Who cares?
Yeah.
I kind of wish they held off on this a little bit longer.
Yeah, I agree.
I wanted this to be teased out over like maybe another week or two.
Hell, a month even. Don't give us this matchup until Survivor Series.
Yeah, I mean, God,
you know, like save it. Like let it build up. Let it come to a boil first, because you have to allow some time to cook for this.
I suspect it's because they really want to amp up Bad Blood.
Yeah, I agree with that. I just don't think it's the right move. The story between Cody and Roman, obviously not over, but the previous, 3 chapters took a year each.
Yeah.
So
we're patient with the build to this. They were getting, like, at the end of WrestleMania 39, Cody loses. They spent a year getting back to Cody versus Roman again.
Make it earned. Like it was so over that when it wasn't announced, the fans revolted.
Yeah. And it led into this current era where we are now, where they have never been hotter.
Yeah.
How many sold out shows are they on?
Good point. Very good point. If they jump the gun on this too early, which I believe this portion is too early itself, but it can still be salvaged. I don't see Cody having the belt that much longer.
I mean, this is kind of like the old trope that they have with WWE, where they want the faces chasing the title. That's where the storyline is. Heels hold on to the title for longer because it's more engaging of a story with somebody chasing that title. And that's
which is fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. You could still do that. Make Roman the one chasing it.
Yeah.
You know, like Cody doesn't have to be the heel necessarily for Roman to be chasing after the title.
It's true.
Like, you can kind of break some of the tropes up, but still hold to them in many ways. Because obviously Cody's carny as fuck, so he's going to go along with a lot of this type of shit.
Dude, Cody will set himself on fire and jump from the top of a Hell in a Cell match through an announce table if you ask him to.
And have the laminate get stuck to his back and like melt to him and everything. Yeah, it's true. That's AEW days, though. That's not WWE.
Yeah, they don't want that.
They don't want that.
No.
But I like them being forced to team up. I think that could help sell more that they are trying to make Roman more of a face.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to make him a baby face, but I think they are trying to bring him into that like anti-hero kind of portion now.
And you know what? At this stage in Roman's career, I think he can pull it off. I think he's got the time, the effort, the energy, the je ne sais quoi under his belt in order to do what he needs to do as a face, at least, or tween, bare minimum.
Yeah. I mean, I bring up DBZ because who is like the best villain / hero that has existed? Vegeta. And I think that's the type of energy that Roman's very much giving off right now. They just haven't jumped yet onto selling it so far. And I think this is what they're trying to do to help sell that.
Yeah.
I think a respect will be found between these two after this match. Doesn't mean the competition's over and that Roman still ain't coming for the belt, but I think there'll actually be a respect from both sides.
And that will work. It will. And that'll lead into, okay, what do we do with the Usos then? Where does that leave Jimmy? Where does that leave Jay? What does Paul Heyman do in this situation?
Brother?
Yeah.
I have some ideas.
Okay.
I've been thinking about this a lot, actually. You know how Rhea and Damian are the Terror Twins? The Terror Twins doesn't mean it has to be only two. There can be two sets of twins. Because twins is plural. It's plural.
Yeah.
You already have Jay on your side. Now it's just a matter of getting Jimmy on your side, too. So.
And Jimmy has been on TV in how long now?
Since just after WrestleMania.
Yeah.
When they kill shotted him with the chair.
Yeah. Oh, God, and that hit off the stage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he's ripe for a return, and I think it would be best suited with him and Jay getting back together again and capitalizing on Damian and Rhea starting to turn face. Because this is a perfect moment for Jimmy to come back as more, maybe not a face right away, but learning to be a face again.
I mean, he's already got kind of the skills because he is one of my favorite people to see on TV, just being the most unserious man alive. You know, like talking about how he's like, oh, no, give me the ball. Like, you know, you're the quarterback. I run it in. Or like, I'm on the special injured list or something like that. I can't do it. You know, that kind of stuff. Like, he's one of my favorite people to watch in the background because he is always on the border of just corpsing and losing his shit anytime somebody else is talking.
I honestly believe it was a shame that they really didn't capitalize on the brother v brother type stuff more with these two, because you could have him be almost like a Joker unserious type, super serious but unserious.
Yeah.
To just fuck with his brother even more, because he did a little bit, but it didn't sell me. So I think on the podcast, even over like a few months, I kept saying like, no, give it some time. They'll be able to pull the trigger on this, and it never happened.
Yeah, I think that WrestleMania match between them just kind of deflated everything because it was just it was a miss. It's unfortunate. You know, sometimes you just have a bad night. You just don't want it to be on the biggest stage you have all year.
Yeah. Which was unfortunate. Which is why I think they need to team them back up, because they were the greatest tag team. They can be the greatest tag team again.
Yeah, they could
easily.
Do it. No.
Unlike New Day, I could see them being able to capitalize more on a return. Because I don't know if at this point, if Big E returned, if you'd see New Day rise to the same degree.
I mean, I feel bad for New Day because they were building towards something, and then all that shit with Odyssey Jones happened, and it's just like, okay, well, now we gotta re-engineer everything because
start from scratch.
Yeah, this plan isn't gonna work.
Yep.
I honestly believe they were gonna split the New Day, like something I thought never would happen. They had me like hooked that, okay, no, this could be a possibility.
I thought so too, man. I was on that same page. I was like, wow, this is actually gonna happen, maybe.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't expect these two to split like this, but without, you know, Big E being the glue, it made it seem possible.
Yeah. But that's great. We should actually get into some stuff on Raw.
Yeah.
Dude, my headcanon is now they are just fucking with CM Punk. Just to be like, push him as far as we can to see where his limit is. Because having Bret Hart on Raw and not have CM Punk interact with him is just mean.
Real bad. I mean, granted, he probably got to see him behind the scenes. Sure. Yeah. It is not the same as being in front of the camera and getting to interact with Bret fucking Hart, man. Especially when you're in goddamn Calgary.
Yeah. Although, dude, we got some classic Bret Hart in his element in Canada on Raw, calling Gunther a yellow belly coward.
Oh man.
My God. It popped
the
me
look
hard.
on his face. The look on his face, man. Like, Gunther was pissed, but like the camera cuts over to Bret as he's finishing up the line, and Bret has like the biggest shit-eating grin on his face. I love it. Absolutely love. He's just so happy to be back in the ring, man.
And he's just happy to do what he does best when he just is, you know, being Bret Hart. You know? Got
a question for you though about this.
Yeah.
Whose idea do you think it was to bring up William Goldberg?
Do
you think Gunther thought of that, or do you think Bret was like, hey, you got to say this?
I think I kind of hope it was Bret. Because that just turned the meme into canon in WWE.
Yep. Yes, it did. I started laughing my ass off because I had said to Christina when Gunther started saying his favorite wrestlers of all time, I was like, don't say Bill Goldberg. Don't say Bill Goldberg. And he just smiles and goes, Bill Goldberg. And I was like, God damn it. God damn it. This was Bret's idea.
Yeah. And I loved it. It was so great. I just wish they had Bret's they had done like a even earlier callback where they hit like Bret's classic music and then Shawn Michaels walked out.
Yo, I was actually wondering if Shawn Michaels was going to show up for a little bit, just to like, and not like as an enemy, but like when Gunther started fucking with Bret, my thought was, okay, we might see HBK come out here and super kick Gunther. Like, this would be amazing.
Yeah, just one sweet chin music. That's it.
Yeah, and end his freaking career.
But there was some other good stuff on this show, like the street fight with the Wyatt Six and American Made. That was a blast. That was fun.
Some injuries looked like happened in this match on all sides. Mainly on the Wyatt Six side, though. What's her face? She cracked her head on the chairs.
Yeah, Nikki Cross.
Yeah, that looked like that was a real hit on her head when she cracked her head down.
Yeah,
because she technically came down first.
I gotta shout out Eric Rowan just using a chunk of barricade as a weapon. That was fantastic. I love that.
Him just freight training through the three of them, dude. Holy crap, was that good? He is a beast. That moment there, if you weren't sold already, will sell you. Like, seriously. Hit that kick he did to the barricade to knock it off. Like, that barricade looked like it was not staged. Like, it didn't look like it was gimmicked at all.
Yeah, they made
it looked like he. Yeah. Like the way he kicked that, like you could hear the snap, like something was breaking off of it. It's like, holy shit.
Yeah, this is them doing a fantastic job of building the Wyatt Six and American Made, in my opinion, because I mean they're a new heel faction. They just got introduced. They've taken nothing but losses in this feud from their introduction. But at the end of the day, I could still see them being a credible threat.
They are over more than what's Karrion Kross's team's got those two?
Final Testament.
That's it. Yeah. Brothers of Destruction. Authors of Pain. That's what it is. See, I don't even remember. I don't even fucking remember it. Yeah, American Made. Horrible name, by the way. I think it's a funny name because it does play into the whole like nationalist type of shit.
Yeah.
But horrible name. Still, that name is easy to remember, unlike Authors of Pain, which I am surprised I remembered this far. It was 30 seconds ago. I should have forgotten that.
Still miles better than Pure Fusion Collective.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because that one is just terrible.
I think this is one of those perfect storm moments, though, honestly. We were all itching for this kind of a rivalry where it's like almost like the Roman Cody rivalry where it's personal. The McIntyre Punk rivalry, personal. The Wyatt Six American Made rivalry, personal.
Also, like I gotta say, I mean, we've been waiting for the Creed brothers to be teamed up with Chad Gable. That was something that like people like once they saw these different wrestlers interacting were like, no, this needs to happen. The introduction of Ivy Nile, I love it. I want more mixed factions. That is a great factor in wrestling.
Yes, and I have to bring this up since you brought up Ivy, because I was going to bring this up because of this match. She cracked that dude in the fucking head with the kendo stick. She didn't, and then the back of the neck.
Yeah,
she was meant to hit him in the back. She missed twice. I was like, oh fuck, because when he grabbed his head the first time, I was like, oh shit, like is he gonna bleed? Because you know how it is. We've been hit with those.
Oh yeah,
you're gonna bleed. Dude, not always, but a lot of times you're gonna get some blood out from a kendo stick.
Sometimes, yeah, especially when you hit it that hard.
Dude, she cracked him. You could hear it. I was surprised that thing didn't break, man. And then she got him on the back of the neck. Dude. Oh my god! And then did that bump he took going out to the suicide dive, and he hit the wall. If you saw, he has bruising right in here.
Yeah,
and it was like red and yellow. I was like, oh fuck, like that shit's gonna turn dark purple in the next day or two.
Yeah, this is what you want on like a TV street fight. I mean, there's gonna be the comparisons of Willow and Stat at All Out in their Chicago street fight to this. This is a different flavor of street fight, and they did it right.
I agree. Unlike the Cody and Solo cage match, where it just felt like they were trying to outdo to some degree the Swerve and Page match. Impossible, obviously. Yeah. But this one was different. This one had a different feel to it. There was different stakes felt on the line. I think what really sold me on it was Uncle Howdy just sitting there off to the side watching all this go on,
and then coming in for the finish.
Yeah, and going kind of nuts. Like you need a stable like Chad Gable's American Made. Yeah, I rhymed there. To help sell the Wyatt Six, and vice versa. You need a crazy, weird gimmick like the Wyatt Six to help sell something like nationalist. It's not as hyper nationalist as like MJF's gimmick was, but still nationalist kind of gimmick that's still a joke at the end of the day.
Now, there is one missing ingredient that has been rumored, and that is Kurt Angle coming in to manage American Made.
I don't know if that's going to happen, though, brother.
I don't know if it's going to happen, but it's something that I am putting out into the universe, and I'm trying to manifest. I'm trying to manifest this.
Oh, we need Walsh. He can actually do that. We've seen him do that.
Yeah, he does.
He's the one who caused the impulsive podcast episode where Dominic Mysterio called out freaking Logan Paul for showing off a suicide from the Japanese forest.
Now, you bring up Logan Paul, and I just got a quote here from Kevin Nash that happened this week. I'm paraphrasing here. Kevin Nash on Logan Paul. Love this coming from him. You don't become one of the boys just because you're around them. That motherfucker, from what I've heard, he's making like $5 million for a limited fucking, and those motherfuckers out there making house shows. Fuck you.
That's some bullshit, man. And we've brought this up before. I'm glad he said that because Kevin Nash keeps it real, man. Yeah. I don't always agree with him, but he keeps it fucking real. It was very clear that they were doing everything they could to make Logan look good. Now, granted, he is somewhat of a natural to this. I don't deny that whatsoever.
No.
But like his very first match, he had months to prepare for that very first match. You got to earn this shit, man. Like if let's say you and I got real big with like the podcast and all that. I wouldn't expect us to be able to transition into motherfucking wrestling overnight. You know what I mean? We would have to put the work in.
I would say like day one, we could take a bump through a table. That'd be our max. That'd be our max.
Yeah.
I could not do what Bret Hart does and make a punch look believable. I could not do that. Like I would accidentally hurt somebody. I'd be like Shane McMahon, where my punches will look like shit but actually hurt.
Yep. Yeah. Same. I've taken quite a few punches over the years, and I would have a hard time making it not connect sometimes. I think that would be a hard first hurdle for me.
Yeah.
Because I'd want to make it look real, and the best way to make it look real is to do a real one.
Yeah, Terry Funk style.
Yep. But you and I would put the work in because we wouldn't want to be thrown up at the top of the ladder. We'd want to actually earn that shit so it felt good for us. You know what I mean? Because we actually care about wrestling to some degree. I don't think he cares about wrestling. He just realized, oh shit, I can make a lot of money and I don't really have to do a whole lot other than choreograph some shit.
It's incredibly plausible and quite likely.
Now, I do give it to him though, because I'm not going to sit here and deny that, you know, that he's like a good wrestler because he is natural to this.
Yeah.
That when he caught Rey Mysterio, you know, great in-ring thinking. You know what I mean? You got to be able to think on your feet to be able to do something like that. And it looked good still. Like it looked good. So
I mean, he's athletic as fuck. I'll give him that. Like he can do stuff in the ring. Like he's capable. It's just I hate him as a person.
Same here. And I think regardless of my bias of Logan Paul because of him being a scammer, allegedly, but not really, but allegedly because I got to say it.
Yeah.
And just being an awful human being. I don't have to say allegedly for that one.
No, you don't.
I think that he needed to be put in his place if he was going to be allowed in like this.
Yeah.
He was not put in his place. He was allowed to come in almost like a superhero and kind of like have superpowers to some degree with his metal hand and his brass knuckles and his
army of shit ass sidekicks.
Yeah, always hiding in a fucking like poison laden fucking prime bottle.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know, man. It annoys me. I'm glad we haven't seen him on TV though. I'm tired of him. Fucking tired of Logan Paul.
Now
I feel like we need a rule for season 2 of GM mode.
Yeah.
There's no hiring Logan Paul.
No, he just stays on the roster in the background. Like he can sit in fucking catering.
Yep. He doesn't even get the Gorillas position.
No, he's got to do all the dates. He's got to be there for every show, but he doesn't get to be on TV.
Ever.
Oh, man.
Not even house shows.
Dude, that actually parlays us into something else here. That's a new development with Raw. And it's got me questioning what it means for a lot of different people on the roster with the big change for, I think this happens in October and goes through the end of the year. Raw is going down to 2 hours.
Oh.
Yeah, until they make the change over to Netflix.
So if it stays 2 hours when it hits Netflix,
it's supposed to go back to like the 3 hours technically.
Okay.
Of what would, like, they're gonna have like their old amount of broadcast time that they would have, like with commercials and everything. So it's gonna be a little bit different.
I was gonna say, because like with Netflix, there's no commercials, so
They're gonna be incorporating commercials into Netflix.
God damn it! I'm so goddamn.
Yeah,
I'm so tired of commercials. This is why I went to streaming.
yeah, I know.
God,
It'll be differently formatted, obviously, because it's going to be Netflix. It's going to be streaming. It's going to be streaming live, but also like the broadcast will end and people can, just start watching it. They'll be able to, like, there's talks of like different things that they're going to be able to do now because they won't have a designated time to cut off the feed. So like finishes will become less predictable in main events is kind of what people are anticipating.
Yo ho ho and a bottle of rum, brother.
Yeah. But until then, it's gonna be 2 hours, and this is kind of like unfortunate.
That's
on
weird.
Multiple different levels. Like years ago, I would have been ecstatic, over the moon with only 2 hours of Raw because it's been a drag during the prime Vince McMahon. I'm a madhouse. Unchained, and I have 3 hours of your undivided attention. But now that like the product is actually good, this just means that more wrestlers are going to have less TV time.
Yeah, we're gonna see shortened matches for sure. We are gonna see less matches, and I think the biggest issue here, in my opinion, is anything that the audience in the arena will get to see, we might miss out on because they might keep those matches still. But decide what they air and don't air. Yeah. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate.
And I feel like there's gonna be some people that are gonna lose TV time, and come probably post WrestleMania, there's gonna be another like mass layoff situation.
Yeah, guaranteed. Oh, because think about it like this: a 3 hour show on TV, 3 hours is technically about 2 hours, maybe hour and a half, technically, because of all the commercials that you have. Because we both know, Raw, SmackDown, every fucking 5 minutes, there's like minute and a half of fucking commercials.
Yeah.
It's wild. It's awful. It's gonna be worse.
It is.
So, like, instead of like an hour and a half show, you're probably going to get an hour to hour and 15 minute technically show, super laden with commercials. That makes it the 3 hour buffer.
Yeah. I mean, I'm thankful that the opening of SmackDown was at least 30 minutes commercial free.
That was nice. It was not on Hulu.
No.
Because again, I watched this for somehow it was on Hulu. I don't know how. It was not on my phone. I couldn't watch it on my phone. But when I got home after work, I was able to bring it up on my TV. It still let me. It was the only episode of SmackDown.
Yeah.
The rest of them were kicked off completely. But yeah, I don't know, man. It's just weird. Like it's gonna change some shit, and I fear that those changes will run into Netflix and never be undone. At least not for a while.
Yeah, I honestly I wonder what's going to happen with so much of the archive that it was on like the WWE network internationally and Peacock for us here stateside. There's the documentaries, there's all the archive footage, there's so much that Netflix is inheriting that logistically I'm worried about how they're going to organize.
Yeah, I mean, let's be real. What happened to some of the stuff that some of the Netflix exclusives that they just did away with after it didn't do good? They're just gone.
Yeah,
some of them. They don't exist anymore. There's no copies as far as
Warner Brothers annihilated so many animated series completely. Like there is no archive of it anywhere.
This is the problem with not owning the media.
Yeah.
Outright buying like physical copies. This is something that when we were teenagers, when they first started doing this shit with the 360, the Xbox 360 and all that, I think it was very likely you who had brought it up first, but that not owning the media is going to bite us all in the ass one day.
Yep. And we're starting to see it.
We're starting to see it.
Prime example, Concord lasted 2 weeks. God. It is it's gone. It's gone. Completely gone.
You can't buy it. I don't think the servers are even up. I don't think you can play it at all. Other than like if you already own it, you can play single player.
I don't think you can even do that.
Oh shit, really? Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah. I think it's just like I think it's removed from people's PlayStation Network accounts. Like it's removed from their libraries.
Do they at least get a refund? Because that's some bullshit.
No, automatic refund for everybody. They refunded everybody who bought it.
I mean, let's be real. Concord was on the wrong system. PlayStation 5 and PlayStation in general has cultivated an audience of exclusives that tend to be very good at like solo single player style stories being told. Mm-hmm. And trying to turn the PlayStation into more of what the Xbox is, where it's like a shared service and most of the games nowadays are just battle royales and shit.
Dude,
it's going to bite them in the ass long term.
We are back to like 2007, 2008 era Sony, where they are overconfident as fuck because they announced a price increase on the DualShock controllers on the basic model of the PlayStation 5. And then they announced the PS5 Pro, which is what, $700 without a disc drive, without a stand, without anything. And
you also, there's some extra payments on top monthly now.
Yeah. And they showed off the technical superiority of it with gameplay footage that nobody could see real differences in. And just they're fuck you. We're Sony. We can do whatever we want because we're on top of the world. And this is the same thing happened with the PlayStation 3. They're making that same mistake again.
Which will give Xbox a chance to maybe capitalize, but with how Xbox has been doing, like I think this is the death knell for both of them in many ways. We're only going to see a decline from now on.
Yeah, consoles are on the way out.
Yeah, the only one that will survive this is Nintendo, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like they'll be the only one.
Nintendo's the only one that has, insulated themselves against this.
Mm-hmm.
And
even then, they're not immune to some of these effects because with how like going to the old catalog and everything, like they've learned trial and error. Like the fans don't like it when we don't give them access to these old games. The fans don't like it when we do this, and then they change it.
Yeah,
takes them a while. Like they're slow to do some of these things, but they do it. So
eventually, yeah.
I don't know.
It's like is a fucking madhouse right now.
It is. I mean, like the voice actors are on strike because of AI and rights to your own fucking voice.
Dude, Annapurna, their entire dev team walked out and resigned like 2-3 days ago now.
Yeah,
it's just it's a scary time. And Microsoft just laid off how many people with the Activision merger again? Another like 300, 500.
Yeah, it was. I thought it was 3 something, I think. And they're going to keep doing it because Game Pass isn't selling. No matter what they put on a Game Pass. Like, granted, we have it.
Yeah.
But it's beneficial for people like you and me who are showing off games that we play without having to buy every little bit in detail and be able to play these like same day.
Yeah.
Like,
let's face it.
It works for us.
They've jacked up the price on it, but for a time period, man, it was the best deal in gaming you could get.
Dude, the whole reason I even started doing it was before we ever started YouTube when I got Game Pass because of that fact. Like, I don't always have to go out and buy these games because I'm not just going to sit here and buy the DLC all the time. I'd rather just play the base game and be done with it.
Yeah.
You
if
know,
like if I really love a game, yeah, I'll get the DLC. You know?
Exactly.
And then
then you get a discount. Like that was one thing that was always good about Game Pass was it like, oh, if I decide I actually want to play this and long term and get all the DLC, I also get a discount on the DLC. I did it with a Firaxis game. I don't remember which one, but I bought all the DLC. It was like $50 and it would have been like $100 had I not had Game Pass. So like it saved me money. But then you look at it now and it's like their best gimmick right now is, hey, we're about to have Call of Duty again.
Basically, yeah. I don't know. Well, we still got some time left this calendar year for some things to happen, but you know, post Gamescom, there's no E3 anymore. There's no big, like actual like press conferences for gaming outside of what the Game Awards and Gamescom.
Yeah. Overall, not unless like a studio decides they just want to release, you know, footage or release like a trailer or something. Because we live in an age where they don't have to wait for E3. Which is both good and bad. There was like a bravado, a magic about E3 and all of those for a long time because we were waiting all year to see some of these things, like Last of Us, Super Mario Odyssey, and stuff like that. Remember when that popped off through E3?
Yeah. What was it? Elder Scrolls 6. It was announced at like the last E3, and it's been. What? How many years?
4, 5, 6.
Yeah, maybe.
It's been a minute. I thought didn't E3 stop before the lockdowns even happened?
Yeah,
wasn't it already canceled?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought. But again, we live in a day and age where you don't have to worry about the big expo. You can just release a trailer and let it gain steam on Steam and online. I think word of mouth is a lot quicker now than it ever was. So
yeah, like when we're in a day and age where if something is just a good game, it will get sold if people can find it. Personal favorite of mine is Baltero, right? You know, single developer, I think, and the dude, you know, when he's like, I got time, I, you know, put out an update, but, you know, thank you all for, you know, joining me on this wild ride. I just thought this would be fun, and people have found it and connected with it. And it's coming to mobile in like, I think 10 days or something like that.
Yeah. For the longest time, my favorite game to play was Binding of Isaac.
Yeah.
Just a little indie developer, you know, they would put out updates here and there, and then made newer versions of the game when they took it off of being like a flash game and all that. And you know, it's word of mouth and it's community based like advertisement and such made that developer a lot bigger, made them a lot of money, and it gave them a lot of street cred. Again, would that developer be able to do as good in the 90s or early 2000s? No, but we don't live then anymore. And I feel like that's a good thing in some ways. I just miss the magic, though. There was a certain kind of magic about the expos and waiting until E3 to see some of the biggest game trailers and all that, you know?
Yeah, and I used to love like when they would just go completely like out of pocket with stuff where we're like, oh, we're gonna have a live music performance to announce this game. Like, this is just incomprehensible why these are being tied together, but it's fun.
Was it the trailer and all that for Halo 2 that Bungie brought out? Someone dressed up as Master Chief for the first time?
I think so.
And that was the first time we had seen like real life version of the armor, and we're like, oh my god, it can exist.
Yeah. Or was it Balmer that faked getting a Halo 3 tattoo?
Oh yeah. Oh my god,
I miss those days. Gaming used to be
too.
so stupid. It was fun.
It's weird. It's a love-hate thing because like I both miss and don't miss the lines of having to wait on like a Thursday night at midnight to get the game. That was one of the plus sides when we were able to just download it on the 360. I was like, I don't have to stay in line.
Yeah,
because I'm like one of the most impatient motherfuckers. I am super impatient. You know me. I'm like, oh my god, we need to go.
Yeah, you were like that with fucking Space Marine 2.
Yep. Oh yeah. I'm impatient as fuck, and I don't deny it. Like today, we went shopping today, right before coming on to record this, and I don't dilly dally in the store. I'm like, what's the 5 things we need? We wrote these down. I go get them, and I'm like, okay, let's go. Nope, we don't look. No, we go. We're blinders. You put the fucking blinders on. We go.
Dude, I am almost like that in the grocery store these days, because I will walk in my head. I will have the list of what I need. I'll go make my rounds, get exactly what I need in the most efficient manner. Like, okay, get the frozen things last, get the, thing that won't fit in my little, basket last, so I don't have to, carry that the entire time. But I'll still be like, well, let me swing through the pastry department real quick, see if they got anything.
Nope, I don't do that. Nope, not anymore. I used to. Now I'm too impatient, because, like, if I have to stand in line for an extended period of time, I get frustrated. I hate lines. I hate them.
Yeah, I know how you feel. I used to be like that for a long time, until I heard David Foster Wallace give that commencement speech. I think you can find it online, like cut down. It's called "This Is Water," and it's really a way of changing how you think in those moments. In like he kind of runs you through the whole idea of like, no, like these moments that are frustrating, like when you're caught in traffic, when you're waiting in line in the grocery store, when you're tired after you just got off of work and all you do is want to go home, and the minutia of boring adult life. There is a way to change the way you think about this and learn to appreciate these moments and give yourself a respite from what is the, existential crisis that is being alive.
So, okay, example here.
Yeah.
I'm in traffic, right? Stop and go, like for miles. The person in front of me only knows how to slam on the brakes.
Yeah.
They don't know how to brake at all. How do I enjoy that?
See, it's about changing your perspective about how, okay, remember, in these moments, the world does not revolve around you. Think about what that person's life could be like, because they are a living, breathing entity on this planet that has a lifetime of experience that does not involve you. The prime example he gives in the speech when it comes to traffic is, there's this giant SUV that's in front of me. It's possible, maybe not plausible or accurate, that this person in front of you in the giant fucking SUV that is going, 5 miles below the speed limit is, someone who was in a horrific accident previously in their life, and their, psychiatrist prescribed, no, get in a bigger vehicle so you feel safer, that you have more of a bubble around you. Take your time driving, because it, could be traumatic.
Well, I do believe that when you are going, I could be wrong.
Yeah.
But I do believe the slower drivers, the ones who are going under the speed limit, are more dangerous than the faster drivers typically.
Dude, you gotta come down and drive some roads down here in Florida. You'll change your tune real quick.
Well, there are some roads, you got to go slower, like especially like gravel roads. You don't want to be speeding down some gravel roads. That's not fun, unless you're wanting to speed down gravel roads, and in which case it can be fun. But no, it's true, because like the only things that really bother me with traffic normally are like the person I dealt with yesterday, where they only knew how to slam on the brakes and would not do anything else. And then the person behind me was getting pissed off, and it's like, bro, it ain't me. This is not how I brake, brother. And then I moved over and got past them, and it was, still stuck in traffic, but Yeah, I wouldn't want to live their life, because living life where you can only slam on your brakes is not a way to live, man.
No.
That is not a way to live.
But speaking of trauma, we got to talk about Dynamite too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That opening with Moxley and them like following him backstage after putting a plastic bag over Danielson's head, and then like that cut where you see Danielson just being carried away and Wheeler's with him, and he's giving this speech and he's echoing. I think they've said that the inspiration was Romper Stomper for his character at this stage. That like droning music that they laid in underneath it all. This is working for me.
So I did see someone on Blue Sky, I think. It might have been Blue Sky. It might have been Threads. It was one of those. It wasn't the Bird app, though, because I'm not on that anymore.
No.
They were calling Moxley's like stable like the Skinhead Crew. And I mean, yeah, they all have like shaved heads, but I didn't think about it like that way. Now I can't unthink it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's on purpose. Because, you know, like I said, the inspiration is apparently Romper Stomper, you know, Russell Crowe. It's about racist youth gangs. Like, he's invoking some of that kind of like cult of personality around him right now. And
the only reason I bring it up is because that wasn't the vibe I initially got.
Yeah.
It wasn't until reading that thread or whatever, I was like, oh, I see it now.
Yeah.
I see it now.
It's starting to come through. Like, it's not overt, but you can see the inspiration seeping in.
Yeah.
And
it works. It does work. It makes for easy heels.
It makes for easy heels. It also makes Moxley look intimidating. He's scary again, you know?
Yeah, I agree. I think that's been kind of an issue with him, because there was like kind of a lull point overall since getting some spaghetti in his head.
I mean, that like ever since I'd say Regal left AEW, I would say like the Blackpool Combat Club has been kind of like, whatever, we could do without him. This feels like a much more engaging faction now. Like, I am scared of what they might do.
Yeah, honestly, I think the plastic bag is what helped put it over. Going after Danielson like that was a thing.
Yeah,
it was a thing, and that thing happened,
and it was scary,
and it somehow got topped.
Yeah, that's it. Don't know how they did that. Like, the rest of the show, we had Darby come out. And Mox telling him, like, you don't deserve that title shot. Give it to me. I liked that little bit of just being like, listen, you little shit ass. I've beat you how many times? I did an avalanche paradigm shift to you on our first encounter. What makes you think I was, you know, holding back then? What I could do to you now will scare you.
Again, if he is actually going to try and come out here on live TV and murder Bryan fucking Danielson for everyone to see, I could only imagine if Sting is not waiting in the fucking rafters what he would do to Darby Allin.
Oh, so God. Yeah.
Like, because I'm sorry, Darby, but like sometimes, man, you need a Sting up in the rafters waiting.
Yeah,
like,
stop you from killing yourself.
Jeez. Yeah.
I've never seen anyone hate their own spine as much as Darby Allin.
My God, his coffin drop he does, man.
Dude.
Like, don't get me wrong. I understand there's like a safetyness about it that's already there. It don't look safe ever.
No.
Ever.
Dude, when he launches himself in between the ropes, it is insane. I've made the comparison. He looks like a cannonball. And that's exactly what he is using his entire body as a weapon.
I'm just waiting for him to figure out how to like frisbee himself through the second and third rope and fucking like spin at someone like a spinning kick, because he seems like the type who could actually do that.
I'm reminded of something I saw with Ricochet coming to AEW. There's been some like older matches circulating online. One of which is when he was Prince Puma in Lucha Underground, and there was a match between him and Rey Mysterio back in the day. There was a move that I've never seen Rey Mysterio bust out since, where he does a dive underneath the bottom rope to the outside.
That's awesome.
It's so he's so fucking smooth when he did it. Oh man, Rey Mysterio is still one of the greatest.
God. That little commercial spot, actually, now that we're talking about it, on SmackDown, where they showed Ray and a couple others going to see the kids in LA, I think, for Latino wrestlers and all that, because of the independence and everything, because of the holiday. Everybody there, fine. I would not have been able to tell you that some of these people were wrestlers.
Yeah.
Even if Rey Mysterio wasn't wearing his mask, which is obviously a dead giveaway, don't get me wrong, I didn't see his mask at first. I just saw his drip. I was like, that's Rey Mysterio.
Yeah.
I knew immediately who he was without having to see Here Up. I knew who he was. I was like, holy fuck, that's only Rey Mysterio still dresses like a dude bro from 2002 or like a Chris Angel type from 2002.
Did you see him and Dom at UFC?
No.
Yeah, both of them were at UFC. I think they had a match at the show at the Sphere in Las Vegas. They were on opposite sides of the arena.
That's awesome. Oh my god, I love the kayfabe between those two, man. Because that's gotta make for some great talk when they're all actually getting to be together as a family.
Dude, it's gotta make him so proud to see where his son is, right?
It has to. He is literally, if you exclude Logan Paul from real world stuff for the reason why he has the most punchable face.
Yeah.
Dom has been able to take a extremely, and I hate to say it, but boring gimmick originally when he was trying to be a face and go full convict mode and be like, nah, you're not my dad. Fuck you and all this shit. And own it to such a point where everybody in the arena and likely at home too, tries to shut him up and won't let him speak. It's amazing. It's amazing.
The one thing I am just so waiting for is when they finally make the move to Netflix, that they'll stop muting all the audio when the crowd starts chanting holy shit or shut the fuck up or any of that. I'm so tired of it.
I thought my fucking TV was fucking up. Because like I said, I was cooking for some of the show. And I want to say every single match had a holy shit moment.
Yeah.
And there was an audio cut. The fucking Cody and Solo match had like 12.
Yeah. Dude, there's like so much fuck you Solo right from the beginning. And it was just,
like,
it kills the mood for me. Like, I want to hear the crowd. That's the whole point of doing a live show with an audience. You want the crowd to react.
Like, we're at the point where you can say shit on live TV, right?
Yeah.
Like South Park did like 242 shits. They also did fuck, I think, as well, right?
At least
let them fucking say fuck.
Yeah.
Fuckity fuck.
Oh god.
It's just annoying though, because it pulls me out of it like completely.
Yeah. Me too. It like, I don't want my verisimilitude to be broken like that. I want to, suspend my disbelief. I want to be worked. Let me be worked.
Let me be a mark, man.
Yeah.
Not the type that gets picked up in sting operations at a sleazy motel. Let me be a WWE World Wrestling Entertainment mark.
Yeah.
Please. I'm already an AEW mark. Let me just be a WWE mark too.
Yeah.
More.
Dude, speaking of which, I got worked for the tag team Casino Gauntlet. I was not expecting Fletcher and Ospreay to take it.
I was not either.
Yeah.
I was not either.
Like, they did a great job of showing, like, oh no, we don't have the right chemistry to operate as a tag team throughout. And then they sneak out the win. It worked.
I really enjoyed that because it was good storytelling. You could see them actually like become more in unison, especially near the end. Like, I don't know, like I was sold on it.
Yeah.
But I was not expecting it. I think one thing that we have to look forward to with AEW is they are going to throw us a lot of curveballs probably in the future here. Especially with like Ricochet being in AEW now. They're really leaning into these high flyers and showing off different aspects of wrestling. And it's one of the best times to pull the rug out from under us and not have it be like a crypto scam, like a Logan Paul alleged scam.
They'll never die. Speaking of Ricochet, that match with Sammy. Number one, I don't really care for Sammy. I think he's an admirable wrestler. I don't really like most of his character work. And unfortunately, I don't think his like dynamicism in the ring is working. Like he needs to level up. I think he needs to focus on landing impacts with his moves that sell a bit more. Too often his stuff just kind of grazes somebody. I want him to work a little bit tighter, and because I'm sorry, but you got Will Ospreay who does these high flying crazy maneuvers, and you got guys like Pac who do the same thing, and they make it look impactful. They make it look, they connect. You need to be at that level to be on this roster, and Sammy you need to level up, bro. Ricochet, I'll give him some credit. Like, I feel like he is starting to find his footing in this environment and learning that, okay, I need to make my shit look tight in order to, be considered a credible wrestler here. He's not there yet. He's still finding his footing. I'm giving him time. Sammy's an original. He's been there since almost day one. You know the story. Sammy, there's new talent here that is showing you up. You need to do more than just that moonsault and a random cutter here and there. You need everything to look that good.
I was going to say, it's bad when the new guy is already showing you up, and he's used to WWE style stuff where he was holding back most of the time.
Yeah.
He's getting the chance to let loose, and he's kind of learning where that groove is right now. So I'm okay with Ricochet's matches in this early on not being S tier because he's already going to give you an A tier just right off the bat.
Yeah.
It was very telling though, that match, that Sammy, he either needs to get better or he needs to pull a Dominic Mysterio and lean into the gimmick of it being bad.
Yeah.
We've talked about this before, but I am a firm believer that Dominic 619 is bad on purpose at this point. I don't think it's an accident now.
He had a good one the other night. He
did, yeah.
Good.
Yeah, but it still doesn't have the impact as his dad's.
No.
Or Selena Vega's, for that matter.
That's true.
And she's wrestling right alongside him, or not, I shouldn't say right alongside him, but like out at the same time and of the same like age bracket. So I could see Ray's getting less and less impactful over time because of age.
Yeah.
That's fine.
And surgeries and injuries.
Yeah. Dom's though, at this point, it's kayfabe. I have to believe it's kayfabe.
Yeah.
He's leaned into the idea that doesn't look that good when he does it and goes, fuck it. It's hilarious. Let's do it. And it is hilarious. I fucking love it when he does a 619 because of how fucking bad it looks. I make fun of it all the time. But I love that.
Yeah.
If Sammy wanted to go somewhere with this, he should lean into the fact that these don't look impactful.
Yeah.
He should make that a gimmick.
Yeah. Full steam ahead. Because I'm sorry, Sammy. I think you're a fine wrestler. You just need to level up in one way or another.
Take some acting classes because I think his promo work does need game. It needs to level up too.
And keep your fucking tongue in your goddamn mouth. I'm so tired of that.
Yeah. I think like at the end of the day, if I had to compare WWE with AEW, with two specific wrestlers, I think we need a level up from Andrade and we need a level up from Sammy.
Yeah.
For different reasons though. Sammy needs to just refine things down and hone a lot of these skills that he's had for a long time.
Yeah.
Andrade needs to find a gimmick that works.
Plain and simple. I'm trying to think of like other things that kind of. Oh my god, we almost skipped over this. Nigel McGuinness and Danielson and Arthur Ashe for Grand Slam. I kind of love it. I don't like how we got here. Felt a little convoluted with, okay, no, Darby's given his chance at a title up against Mox. So Nigel's like, oh, Danielson's got nothing to do. Let's, let me and him have a match if he can compete and let me bury him some more. I don't like how we got here, but I love that we're getting it, Yeah,
I was going to say, I'm happy for the match, but I agree. It's weird how we got to this point. It is convoluted is an understatement. This is just like weird as hell. But Nigel being back though in itself is good enough for me to just be okay with this. I want to see some more runs out of this man. Give us a nice title run with this man eventually.
God, I want to give out some shout outs though also on just some fantastic bits of business that we saw. It was Commander with who did he come out with for a trios match? God, I feel so terrible.
Remember. It was do I.
Yeah, it was one of those tag teams where it's like these two together. It was a private party.
It might have been, yeah.
Yeah, where they come out for a trios match and Mox and his goons just come out and batter the fuck out of them. Like, nope, you're not getting a show tonight. Screw you. This is my show now. This is my company. I love that. The Outrunners getting this shine during the Casino Gauntlet match. Youngest Men Alive. Fantastic. Apparently they're outselling almost everybody on their merch, and they only have like 2 shirts available. I love to see it. They're great banter.
Well, I mean, like Grand Slam, we've got some stuff coming up that's going to look good overall. We got the Young Bucks that are going to be defending their tag team championships belts against Ospreay and Kyle Fletcher. I don't think they're going to take the belts from them personally. This is not the crew I would expect to be taking the belts off them, in my opinion. But again, it's Carney shit, so it very well could happen.
It could. I mean, it's the Bucks. They love to be meta with all of their stuff. They love to, foreshadow things and have little details in there that you'll realize after the fact. We might see something. I also love that we're getting a tag feud that doesn't involve the titles with FTR and the Grizzled Young Veterans. Like them being on site and completely foregoing whatever was happening in the gauntlet match was a nice touch.
And I think that's where AEW has been kind of lagging a little bit because originally one of my biggest compliments to AEW back in the day was their ability to show off tag team as being a major thing.
Yeah.
It's been lagging for a while now though. And I think the biggest issue with that was them not allowing stories to be told that didn't have anything to do with the belts. This is a nice refresher in my opinion, and it needs to happen more.
Yeah. Also, I really want to say, what the fuck was Alex Abrahantes doing when he was coming down for that entrance? Where he just did like a front flip and then started like humping the air or something.
Yeah, I didn't understand that either.
Really distracting. I don't know what that was, but please never do that again.
We also had the Jack Perry and Leo Rush match as well. Yeah. Leo Rush, man, he's quick.
I love Leo Rush. He's one of those guys that in-ring talent will not hold him back. It's his own personality that gets in his way.
Yes.
He's one of those guys that like the ceiling is set by him. If he could get out of his own way, he'd be a main eventer. I
agree with that 100%. I think if he could lean into that and make that a gimmick though, I feel like some of the, like, as you put it before, like the smartest wrestlers out there are the ones who take that bit of truth and exaggerate it to the upteenth.
Yeah, Stone Cold said it best and personified it best. Like he just took who he was, turned it up to 11, and found success.
It's just overall, yeah. Like, and I don't know how many of you watch Dynamite. If you don't, I highly recommend watching AEW Dynamite.
I gotta say, like, there is no reason that AEW should be this cold when they are hitting so many things on the pinpoint accuracy of just being fantastic. And I don't understand, like, I know there's like doom and gloom about like, you know, the ratings and the ticket sales. They're still doing fine in that aspect. Like the monetary aspect is there for what they need to be. Like they don't need to be competing with WWE on WWE's level. Like they don't have the reach. They don't have the, you know, backbone. They don't have the history. They can be fine where they're at as a competitor. Like, you know, they're the Pepsi to Coke. That's fine. But they need a shot in the arm when it comes to like people actually. Like there's a couple of details that they're missing on. Their merch at shows is abysmal. They have like one booth with maybe a dozen designs for sale. Like they need to ratchet it up a notch there. They need to do better there. They need to book arenas and territories better. But when like they still deliver on like the shows, like they're getting better at doing things that are consistent week to week, that make sense, that progress storylines. They sell fantastic pay-per-views. Like they don't miss on a pay-per-view. They never do. They just need to coalesce that around the rest of the company.
All Out proved that you can do a pay-per-view a couple weeks prior, as long as you give a little bit of time to simmer and have it be able to be worthy to be purchased, and not only purchased, but talked about for a few weeks.
Yeah.
They have all of the ingredients pretty much that they need. It's a matter of, and with some of it, either upgrading or refining some of their stuff.
Yeah.
In ring work, I think they far surpass WWE and over Fist. They have for a long time, but this era right now proves it even more. Just look at Ricochet coming over. Again, yeah, he's still finding his legs in AEW, but the man has already surpassed most of his feats in WWE in just this short time.
Yeah. Made much more of an impact with the crowd.
Yeah, like when you unchain some of these wrestlers, you're going to see some great shit. And AEW is the place to do that. Like they need to lean into that even more.
Yeah, I want them to. I want the discipline to come off what they're working with. Like when Tony Khan's excited about something, he's all gas, no brakes. We're seeing that now with Mox. Like they could have dragged this out a little bit longer, like put another week on it maybe. But no, he's too excited about it. He wants to, you know, run straight towards Grand Slam with this and like get the payoff as soon as possible. They could have delayed it a little bit longer. That's fine. That's not terrible. It's the things where they miss, where they drag it out too long that I get worried. Like Swerve and Keith Lee. Like there was never any payoff to that. They teased it for too long and nothing ever happened and it went cold.
Yep. I agree completely. Yeah. That was one of those where they really could have capitalized on it and done maybe not to the same level as Adam Page v Swerve and their feud. Cause like, that's like fucking magic. Yeah. Like between the two, but you could have still had something amazing.
Yeah. Let's face it. Swerve and Hangman is top 3 of their feuds ever. Like MJF and Punk, fantastic. Hangman and Kenny, amazing. Yep. And now you got Hangman and Swerve. I mean, just bar none, some of the best feuds that we've seen in wrestling ever.
Yeah, and they're so good that they are put up against some of the older feuds that WWE was best known for. Dude, like that's how good some of these are. Yeah.
Savage and Hogan, like fantastic. But like this is working on, you know, this current generation. It's the you know, it's the personal stories. Those are the ones that work. Oh,
like Cody and you know, finishing the story. Yeah. Finishing the story.
Yeah. Keyword story right there.
I think AEW has, like I said, I think they have all of the ingredients they pretty much need. Some of them they just need to upgrade to better ingredients. Like, you know, instead of using white onion, brothers, use some shallots.
Yeah.
You know, instead of buying garlic paste, buy the garlic and chop it yourself.
Yeah, that helps a lot.
It does. And to equate it to wrestling, add more booths for fucking merch. Like, instead of one where there's like 4 little mini stands, have like different sectors of merch.
Yeah.
Where you can always get each thing from each of those sectors, but you don't have to walk a mile to go get fucking merch.
And dude, while we're talking about merch, how is it this week they announced one of the coolest looking shirts and one of the worst looking hoodies I've ever seen? Did you? Okay, so the Konosuke Takeshita one, awesome. It's got the
awesome.
I can't remember the name of the mask. I'm losing the historical name, but you know exactly what I'm talking about. It looks awesome. So cool. But then they have like the limited time release hoodie with like the yellow and like gold smoke with the championship title hoodie that's available for like a couple of days, and it just looks fucking terrible. Like, what is this?
Oh my god. I know. Like, and it's funny too, because like, between the two, I do believe AEW tends to be the superior when it comes to like merch design, because of how long they've leaned into the video game aspect with a lot of these wrestlers and what they were brought up with. The problem, I think, is again the ability to get it overall.
Yeah.
But that hoodie is not something I would buy.
No, dude, I almost thought about buying it just as like a fucking troll.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, seriously.
Like,
oh my god.
I mean, that's the AEW has decent merch. Their partnership with 1 Hour Tees based out of Chicago. They put out decent stuff. You can get it on a variety of materials and different blanks that are, you know, decent quality. WWE with their partnership with Fanatics fucking sucks, dude. Their quality is shit. It's like a tier below Gildan. Gildan at least will hold up like over time as like a basic shirt, you know, regardless of, you know, what you put on there. The stuff from Fanatics just sucks. It'll fall apart on you.
Oh yeah, I have a couple shirts that are made from Fanatics, and let me tell you, the seams don't hold up on the armpit.
Yeah, split. It's always right there, right?
Right there. Yeah, right there.
It's the worst.
Nice.
Yeah, you are.
I was like, am I sweating? I felt a little wet there.
Speaking of merch, we do have some new stuff in the store, special for the night shift. You got a couple of little key items in there. There's some throwbacks to like some old school what you would wear in phys ed that was very heavily inspired. And then there's like a little team shirt for you, and just, you know, I called it the night shift with a K on there. You got a little throwback in there for you. Just, you know, some stuff for the community, the night shift out there. You know, a little love letter from us to you.
Oh, you working late through the night, you know, needing something to catch your eye while you're having to stand the monotony of the 11 to 7, because that's the night shift.
Yeah.
You know, check out the merch. There's some really great designs in there. I really like the high school gym outfit shirt. I think that's the one I'm probably going to get next. I also like the Lone Wolf option as well. That one's great. I think that one has a little bit of inspiration from our Space Marines too.
Oh, just a little bit.
I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, a little bit of shout out to the Space Wolves. I mean, come on, dude.
Yeah, I could tell right away. I was looking at that. I was like, oh, no Dark Raven, huh? I see how it is.
Yeah,
I see how it is.
Yeah, I got a little bit of Warhammer on the brain. We'll get there. We'll get there. Yeah.
As we transition into a Warhammer only channel.
We'll be up for it, yeah.
Oh man, we just always make jokes and we can't stop ourselves, and I don't fucking know why.
It's because we can't stop ourselves. We have no self-control. We're like Tony Khan. We can't help but book things.
So true. I have the patience of Tony Khan. That's for certain. That man cannot wait to let something loose.
Oh, dude.
If he's got a secret, it's coming out, man. Just wait until he pours his second cup during the presser, and you will get all the information you need, man. Just don't be like the first 3 reporters talking to him. Be like the 4th or 5th.
Mm-hmm. After he signs that contract with Warner Brothers to finally have a new deal. God.
Oh, God, seriously.
Just gonna keep teasing it. They're 90% of the way there, Derek. 90%.
Honestly, I think we'll get that deal before the end of the year. So.
Hope so. God.
I would fucking hope so, too.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe he'll show the same restraint as R-Truth commenting on Shannon Sharp's going live on Instagram at an inopportune moment.
She tired, Unk. She tired, Unk.
I'm pretty sure that ain't PG.
That ain't PG, Unk.
Oh, man.
Oh, I did not have on my 2024 bingo sheet R-Truth being a better commentator than some of the commentators that WWE has when it comes to commentating on someone clapping cheeks accidentally on an IG live.
Dude, sign him up, put him behind the booth, have him be a play-by-play guy.
Oh,
just
God.
do it.
Oh, and I love Shannon's response. I was hacked. Like, bullshit, motherfucker.
No, you weren't. Come on.
Bullshit. You were in IG. You were looking at Instagram right before you started to fucking lay some pipe, brother. And you accidentally hit the live button. It happens. I've hit the live button. The problem is for him is that there's like an extra button you got to click for it to go live. So he double butt dialed in that sense.
Dude.
Them cheeks could not be contained, brother.
Dude, there was, I don't even remember all the little comments that he posted, but they were all so gold. R-Truth is a national treasure.
I honestly, man, I want him as the undisputed champion so goddamn bad. Like, I think that if we were to get him as the undisputed champion, it would be the perfect segue to get Chelsea Green as the undisputed women's champion too.
Oh my God. The two of them together. Let's put them in a mixed tag.
Oh my God. Have them go on their fucking belt collector run. Oh my God.
Oh my God. Okay. You know, you just brought up a little bugbear of mine also from the shows this week. Chelsea Green, Piper Niven, and Michin all getting jobber entrances on TV.
Pissed me off.
Dude, such a
Chelsea
shame.
Does not. Don't get me wrong. Piper's career's kind of gone like this for some reason. I'm not 100% certain why. Like, her last 2 gimmicks just really haven't been over with the crowd.
Yeah, they aren't booking her correctly. That's all it is.
I was gonna say I think it's more WWE than her, because when she's in front of the camera, she's great still.
Yeah.
Chelsea, obviously, always great. Owns the fucking camera the moment it's on her. Fucking moment. Don't relegate her to jobber status like that. Like, don't get me wrong, having her go into NXT, that's fine. Mm-hmm. Help raise up some of the other talent, especially if they want to be taken more seriously compared to like a comedic wrestler.
Yeah.
Go right ahead. But Chelsea Green should not be a jobber, man. She is a main eventer. She is the future undisputed women's champion in WWE. I'm saying it now.
Yeah.
I'm saying it now.
She's also the pathway for Cardona to make his return to WWE.
Yes, actually, yes, you are correct on that. Yeah.
Yep.
But in all honesty, between the two, Piper and Chelsea, I think they were the most done dirty by this.
Yeah.
Mainly because Piper, having been at the very top already, should never be seen as like a jobber ever again. I mean, look how long it's been. What, 8 years since KO has held a belt? That man is not treated as a jobber.
No.
Whatsoever.
He just had a title shot.
And don't get me wrong, it was a bullshit title shot.
Yeah.
Sure. But the man has never been seen as a jobber since holding the belts.
No.
And they should not have done that to these women. That was one of my big gripes this week, too. I have to agree.
Yeah. Also, I want to give a quick shout out to Kevin Owens for the smartest hot tag ever seen on television during SmackDown, where he ran outside the ring and then back in. Fucking
yeah, dude.
Oh, KO's one of the best. I love it.
Oh man, you got to give it to them though, man. They know how to make others look good. They really help sell Austin Theory and
Waller.
And thank you. I was gonna say and douche nozzle.
Australian douche nozzle.
Yeah. Kayfabe aside, they're both really good. I enjoy both of them. They're really leaning into this like piece of shit, fucking toxic bullshit, and I love it. I just I feel like they need to give DIY more time to cook with them, because you put DIY up next to those two, and you get some gold fucking promos.
Yeah. Also, I want to give a shout out to DIY occasionally uploading their little backstage stuff where they try and RKO Randy Orton and they always fail. It's so great. It's pure comedy because they spend so much time building to the punchline that it's hilarious. It's so good.
the RKO that what's his face did onto the table, the lunch table was that circular lunch table, dude.
Oh god,
that's still my favorite. That's still that one and the pool one. Those two are my favorites.
Oh god. Oh, dude,
man.
Is
this our longest episode yet?
It really is. Like, I don't think we've gone longer since Vince McMahon was revealed to be an even bigger monster than we thought.
Yeah. I think the next one that would even remotely come close to this time is when we actually talk about the special only.
Yeah.
And if you've been here this long, like, thank you. Like, not only listening like multiple episodes wise, but if you made it to this point in the episode, you're a real one. Yeah, you're a real one. You are Night Shift.
Yeah, Night Shift, ride or die. Thank you for being here. Look, let's call it there. Let's pack it in. Let's everybody that is here along with the ride, Night Shift. We'll see you next week. Remember, like, comment, share, subscribe. The engagement stuff. New merch is in the description below. You can find it online in multiple different styles. We got some shirts, we got some hoodies. There's a baseball tee in there for you for the folks of who are like me that like the little bit of like 3/4 sleeves
going down.
Yeah, I love that fit. But until then,
good trip.
Yeah, we'll see you next week. Nothing else to do but say good night, Night Shift.
Yeah, have a good night, Night Shift.
Yeah, we'll see you next time.